Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to another episode of Down to Earth Astronomy. This is the first video in a series called Q&A Astronomy, where I will be answering astronomy-related questions. I've seen a lot of people asking a lot of very good questions at different forums and around the internet, and I thought we'd making a short series where I'll try to explain as easily as possible different topics in astronomy. So if you have a question about astronomy, feel free to drop a comment down below. This video, just to get the series started, will be about solar flares. We're going to look at what is a solar flare, what can we do to predict them, and a bit about the research going on in the field. So first, what is a solar flare? Well, the short answer is the solar flare is a rapid release of a hot plasma from the sun due to effects of the solar magnetic field. That might sound a bit complicated, but to cut it out a bit, a plasma is essentially a gas, a superheated gas. So if you imagine a gas full of atoms, of course, when you heat this gas up so that it's hot enough, eventually all the electrons will be kicked away from the nucleus, and you will have this soup of free electrons and free nucleus just floating around. And that is essentially a plasma. And a solar flare is a rapid release of some of this plasma, again, due to some effects in the magnetic fields. So if we're going to go a bit more in depth to see how you actually do research on solar flares, we can take a look at an image like this. This is an image of the sun back from 2011, I believe. And what we're seeing here is the strength of the magnetic field towards us. So it's the line of sight magnetic field. It's the how powerful the magnetic field is towards us. If we zoom in on this small region here, you can see that this area has a lot of structures in it. This region is what's called an active region. This is a region that is known to produce solar flares. Again, this is back from 2011, so we know that this region produces solar flares. This image was taken 2 hours before the solar flares erupted. And above regions like this, you begin to see certain structures, and we believe these structures are indication of an imminent flare. The image here shows a simple model of such structures. This is essentially just the magnetic field above two bar magnets put on top of each other. But in these kind of magnetic fields will have a magnetic null point, as is shown here with a yellow star. And at these null points, you can have an effect called magnetic reconnection, where the magnetic field lines are cut and will reconnect with other field lines. And this process will release a huge amount of energy and accelerate the plasma to high velocities. And that is essentially the solar flare. That is what's going on. So we believe that if you see structures like this, you can have the reconnection phenomenon, and that releases the large amount of energy that we see in a solar flare. Now, at the moment, we are not able to reliably predict when a solar flare will go off. But there is a lot of research in the area. So if we go back to the image from the beginning, we can take an image like this, and we can put it into a computer, and we can make a computer program, and we can use it to compute or to calculate the full vector field. So we can calculate the whole magnetic field. As I said, this only shows the magnetic field towards us, but we can also compute the rest of the magnetic field from this. Of course, we have to make some guesses. But once we have the magnetic field, we can then put that into a supercomputer somewhere, together with some mathematics and some physics. And we can try to simulate how we believe that this magnetic field would evolve, and we'll see if that matches what actually happened in real life. This is a small video of such a simulation that shows a solar flare erupting. Again, this is not a real recording. It's just a computer simulation taken from the image we saw before. And as you can see, some of the structures close to the surface kind of match the structures we saw before. So this is an indication that we might be right about these structures. But again, we are not 100% sure how we can actually predict this. But by doing these kind of simulations, by looking at how these magnetic fields evolve in a computer, when we do this with hundreds and hundreds of solar flares, eventually, hopefully, someday, we will find a method to actually reliably predict when these solar flares will go off. So someday, we will hopefully see the weather forecasts from the sun where they can warn us of imminent solar flares. Not that solar flares are that dangerous to us as humans. It can be harmful for our electronics, maybe power plants, and especially equipment that we have in orbit where the magnetic field of the Earth is much weaker. So it's not a hazard for humans directly, but it can affect our infrastructure and our communication quite seriously. So that is why I think this is an interesting field of study. This was very short on what a solar flare is. If you have another question you would like me to go over and try to explain, go ahead and leave a comment down below. And remember to like the video and subscribe. Then you will know when the video will be up. So until next time, take care.